Beyond the obvious unveiling the power of nipple stimulation. When we think about sexual pleasure, certain erogenous zones immediately come to mind, like the genitals or the lips. Nipples, however, often occupy a confusing space in our understanding of sexual pleasure. They are visually prominent and undeniably linked to sensuality, yet often overlooked in discussions about sexual arousal. Yet their capacity to ignite arousal and even lead to orgasm remains surprisingly under-discussed in mainstream conversations. This essay delves into the fascinating science behind nipple stimulation and its profound impact on female sexuality, exploring both the physical and emotional dimensions. For many women, nipple stimulation is not just pleasurable, it's an integral part of their sexual experience, enhancing overall satisfaction. It can be the key to unlocking heightened arousal, deeper intimacy, and even explosive climax, making it a vital aspect of sexual health. By understanding the neurological and hormonal responses triggered by nipple stimulation, we can begin to appreciate its true significance in the realm of female pleasure and its potential to enhance intimate relationships. The science of sensitivity, nerves, brain, and pleasure. It's a fascinating interplay that defines our sensory experiences. The secret to the nipple's erotic power lies in its unique anatomy. This area is a marvel of biological design. Nipples are densely packed with nerve endings, more so than almost any other part of the body. These nerve endings are like tiny sensors. These nerve endings are incredibly sensitive to touch, pressure, temperature, and even vibration. They respond to the slightest stimuli. When stimulated, they send a surge of electrical signals along nerve pathways directly to the brain. This communication is almost instantaneous. The brain, in turn, processes these signals as pleasurable sensations. It's a complex but rapid process. This is the same region of the brain, the somatosensory cortex, that interprets touch from all over the body. It's a hub of sensory information. However, the sheer density of nerve endings in the nipples means that even the lightest touch can trigger a cascade of pleasurable sensations. This makes them uniquely responsive. A hormonal symphony, oxytocin and the nipple connection. The story of nipple stimulation and pleasure goes beyond nerve impulses. Hormones also play a crucial role, particularly oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone or cuddle hormone. Oxytocin is released in response to various forms of touch, but nipple stimulation is a particularly potent trigger. When released, oxytocin floods the brain, creating feelings of relaxation, trust, and emotional connection. It also promotes feelings of arousal and enhances sexual pleasure. In essence, nipple stimulation sets off a chain reaction, triggering both physical and emotional responses that contribute to a more satisfying sexual experience. Nipples to nirvana, exploring orgasm through stimulation. While not all women experience orgasm solely from nipple stimulation, a significant percentage do. Research suggests that anywhere from 20 to 40% of women can achieve orgasm through nipple stimulation alone. This phenomenon further underscores the powerful connection between the nipples and the brain's pleasure centers. The ability to climax from nipple stimulation alone likely varies depending on individual sensitivity, hormonal fluctuations, and other factors. However, the fact that it is even possible highlights the often underestimated erotic potential of this often overlooked erogenous zone. The psychology of pleasure, intimacy, trust, and nipple play. Beyond the purely physiological, nipple stimulation carries significant psychological and emotional weight. It can be a powerful way to connect on a deeper level. It fosters a sense of intimacy and vulnerability, requiring trust and communication between partners. This shared experience can strengthen the bond between them. When incorporated into sexual play, nipple stimulation can deepen emotional connection and create a more fulfilling experience. It can enhance the overall pleasure and satisfaction. For some women, nipple stimulation might evoke past experiences of breastfeeding, subconsciously associating it with nurturing and bonding. This can add a layer of emotional depth. For others, It might simply be a source of intense pleasure that adds a new dimension to their sexual repertoire. It can be an exciting and enjoyable part of their intimate life. Whatever the reason, embracing nipple play can lead to a richer and more fulfilling sex life. It opens up new avenues for connection and pleasure. The art of touch tips for safe and enjoyable nipple stimulation. Like any form of sexual exploration, communication is key. Partners should discuss comfort levels, boundaries, and preferences. Start slowly and gently, gradually increasing the intensity of touch as desired. Experiment with different types of touch: stroking, circling, gentle pinching, or even using sex toys specifically designed for nipple stimulation. Pay attention to your partner's responses, both verbal and non-verbal, and adjust your approach accordingly. Breaking the taboo, normalizing nipple stimulation for sexual wellness. Unfortunately, societal taboos often overshadow the discussion of nipple stimulation. The hypersexualization of women's bodies in media and the lingering discomfort with female pleasure can make it challenging to openly explore and discuss this aspect of sexuality. It's time to reclaim the narrative. Normalizing conversations about nipple stimulation is crucial for promoting sexual wellness and empowering women to embrace their full sexual potential. Open communication, education, and a willingness to challenge outdated taboos will pave the way for greater sexual understanding and satisfaction. Reclaiming our pleasure, embracing the full spectrum of sexual response. Nipple stimulation is not just a quirky footnote in the story of female sexuality. It's a powerful force that can unlock heightened arousal, deepen intimacy, and even lead to orgasm. By understanding the science, embracing the emotional nuances, and breaking down societal barriers, we can fully appreciate the significance of nipple stimulation in the tapestry of human sexual experience.